Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a bit different. We're looking at a grammar lesson plan.
Yeah, specifically a day one English class plan focused just on the simple present tense.
Right. Now look, we're not here to teach English grammar from scratch, but sometimes looking at the basic structure is really revealing.
It is.
So for those of you who maybe want a really clear picture of how this core tense works, we're going to try and extract that fundamental architecture.
Kind of like the blueprint.
Exactly. Our mission today is to understand not just the rules on the page, but I guess the structural efficiency behind this really foundational concept.
I like that. Structural efficiency. And it really is foundational. You could almost call it the tense of identity,
And so,
Well, what's really interesting right off the bat is how this lesson plan defines what it is.
Oh.
The simple present isn't actually for what's happening, like right this second.
right, that's a common confusion.
It is. The source says it's used for daily habits, established routines, and universal facts. So think about things you do every day or things that are just always true.
Like, I drink coffee every morning, or the earth revolves around the sun, that kind of thing.
Precisely. It's the language of the constant, the unchanging.
Okay, that distinction habit versus immediate action that feels really central. So let's unpack the structure. How do we build simple statements, affirmative sentences?
Well, for most subjects, I, you, we, and they, it's almost deceptively simple.
Deceptively simple.
Yeah, because the structure is just the subject followed by the verb, the basic dictionary form of the verb. No change is needed.
Okay, so the examples in the material, they have things like, I play football.
Right. Or they go to school.
See, the verb play or go, it's just
Yeah.
there, unchanged.
Exactly. But as you said, it's sort of deceptively simple because this sets you up for the one big change, the rule that catches nearly everyone learning English.
Ah, yes, the infamous third-person singular. He, she, and it.
That's the one. This is the absolute key modification you have to get right with this tense. Structurally, it's the exception.
Why, though? I mean, why does English make this one change just for he, she, it? Is there a logic to it?
Well, historically, it's a leftover from older, more complex verb conjugations. But for someone learning today, honestly, you just have to drill it. Subject is he, she, or it. You add an S or ES to the end of the verb, period.
The source actually calls this out as a tip, doesn't it? Like a really important one.
A crucial one, non-negotiable.
Okay, let's make the contrast clear using the examples.
Yeah.
So if we say, we go to school.
Then it has to be, he goes to school. See the is.
Right. And if I play football.
Then it becomes, she plays football.
Boy,
With the S.
that tiny little S, it really makes all the difference between sounding right and, well, not right.
It does. And functionally, that little sound carries all the information. You hear that S or es, you instantly know two things. The subject is singular, and the action is a habit or a fact.
Okay, I see. And this structure gets applied immediately in the lesson plan's examples about daily routines. This is where it becomes less abstract, right?
Absolutely. This connects the grammar rule directly to, everyday life.
So the source lists things like, okay, I wake up at 6 o'clock.
Base form. Subject is I.
I brush my teeth.
Still I. Still base form. Rule set 1.
But then, she drinks tea in the morning.
Ah, there it is. Subject is she, so the verb drink gets the S. Rule set 2.
And he reads the newspaper.
Same deal. He means read becomes reads. The S is mandatory.
It's that sharp contrast, isn't it? Base form versus the S form.
Exactly. And the source uses family members, too, which is smart because my father or my mother can sometimes confuse learners.
That's a good point. You might think family implies we or something.
Right, but structurally, my father is just like he and my mother's like she.
So we go to school every day,
Hmm.
base form, and they play cricket in the evening, base form again.
But then my father drives to work.
Because my father.
Yeah. And my mother cooks breakfast.
Because my mother equals she.
Those two examples really nail the entire affirmative structure, don't they? It shows how that little s isn't just arbitrary. It's tied to the identity of the person doing the routine.
Okay, good. So we know how to state a habit or fact. Now, how do we cancel it? How do we make negative sentences? This feels like where it gets a bit more complex.
It does introduce a new element, yeah. To negate, in the simple present, we need help. We bring in what we call auxiliary verbs or helper verbs. Do and does.
Okay, so do and does step in.
They do.
Okay.
They become the structural workhorses for negation.
And this is actually the first time they appear in the structure,
Yeah.
right? They weren't needed for simple positive statements.
Correct. And here's the really neat structural insight. Once you use don't, do not, or doesn't, does not, these helper verbs take over the job of carrying the tense information. Meaning the main verb, the action word like play or go or like, it always, always goes back to its simple base form no matter who the subject is.
Oh, so no more adding s or s in negative sentences.
Never. The helper verb already did the work. Think of, doesn't it already includes the as sound, essentially? It's absorbed that third-person rule.
So you avoid saying the as twice, kind of. You wouldn't say she doesn't plays.
Exactly. That would be grammatically redundant. The doesn't already signals she, so the main verb just relaxes back into its base form.
Okay, that makes sense structurally. So we end up with two clear formulas for negation. For I, you, we, they.
It's subject plus don't plus verb, base form.
And for the tricky ones, he, she, it.
It's subject plus doesn't plus verb, base form. Notice, still the base form with the main verb.
Right. Let's look at the examples. I don't like coffee. Makes sense. Like is base form.
Yep. Now, third person. She doesn't go to school on Sunday.
Ah, see? It's go, not goes, because the doesn't handles the she part.
Precisely. And it's consistent. We don't watch TV in the morning. Base form watch.
And he doesn't play football. Base form play. No has needed.
That consistency is key. The helper verb takes the strain.
Okay. Understanding why the main verb stays in base form because the helper carries the load. That feels like the real deep dive insight here, more than just memorizing don't versus doesn't.
It's the underlying logic. And once you grasp that, forming questions becomes really intuitive.
Because we're still using do and does.
Exactly. We've already established there are structural helpers. So to make a question, you just need to change the word order slightly.
How so?
You take the correct helper word do for I, you, they, or does for he, she, it, and you simply move it to the very beginning of the sentence.
And that signals question.
Instantly. It tells the listener you're asking about a habit, a routine, or a fact. And crucially, the main verb still stays in its base form, just like in negatives.
Okay, same base verb rule.
Got it.
The examples in the lesson. Do you like music?
Asking about a general preference, a fact about you, do is used, like is base form.
Then, does he play cricket?
Subject is he, so we need does. But notice the main verb is play, not plays. Does handled the third person part.
Right. It's consistent. Do they live here?
Do for they, live is base form.
Does she cook dinner?
Does for she, cook is base form. The system just works.
It's quite elegant when you see the pattern.
It is. And what I really like is that the source material doesn't just leave you with rules. It immediately shows them working in a mini dialogue.
Ah, yeah. Between Amit and Ria. It kind of bridges the gap from rules to actual conversation.
Exactly. Let's break that down quickly. Amit asks Ria about her routine. How does he phrase it?
He says, what do you do every day? He uses the helper do because the subject is you. And the main verb is do, base form.
Perfect. And Ria's answer?
Simple affirmative. I go to college every day. Subject I, base verb go. Stating a routine.
And Mia asks another question.
Right. Do you study English there? Again, do for you, base form study. Checking another habit.
And Ria's answer is neat. Yes, I do. I love learning English.
She uses the helper do in her short answer, confirming the habit. Wow. Okay, so that little four-line exchange actually uses pretty much all the rules we just talked about.
It does. Affirmative, question form, the helper verb do, and the focus on habits. It's a really efficient demonstration.
And the point, I guess, is that once you have this framework, the affirmative, the negative with don't, doesn't, the questions with do, does, you can start talking about your own daily life.
That's the goal. The source essentially gives you the tools, do, does, daily activity words, and encourages you to build your own conversations.
Okay, so let's recap the core structure we've extracted. Simple present tense. It's for the constants habits, routines, facts.
Right. Affirmative sentences, base verb for I, you, the. Crucially, add nush s or any as for he, she.
Then for negatives and questions, you bring in the helpers do and does, don't or doesn't for negatives.
And do or does at the start for questions.
And in both those cases, negative and question the main verb always goes back to its base form.
You got it. The helper verb does the heavy lifting.
It really is the grammar of reliability, isn't it? The grammar of things that are true day in, day out.
Well put. And, to really make this stick, the source suggests a simple prompt for you, the listener, a way to apply this immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask yourself, what do you do every morning? Try answering that using these structures. Maybe state a few things you do using those affirmative sentences.
Like, I wake up, I drink coffee.
Exactly. And maybe challenge yourself, try making one of those sentences negative. I don't check my email first thing, perhaps. Just play with the structure based on your own routine.
That's a great way to internalize it. Connect it directly to your own life.
Mm-hmm. And interestingly, if thinking about routines makes you wonder about, well, what you're doing right now in this very moment.
Which the simple present doesn't cover.
Right. The source material actually points towards that as the very next lesson. It mentions the present continuous tense. That's the one for talking about what's happening now.
Ah, the ing tense. I am talking. You are listening.
Exactly. But that, as you said, is probably a deep dive for another day.